can get this only nowhere else but the Kevin and Zach. Kevin, I'm not gonna lie.
Now we're not look at this. A carved penguin. There it is.
Oh no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
It's so embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed.
Okay. The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back. What? Oh my God.
Wait, what's going on? What is happening?
What is going? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the ball.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Birdfish!
How about that?
Birdfish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say? What can I say?
We're back, baby! We're back! Baseball's back! Dub columns are back! Reaction shows are back! Baseball is back, baby! And no better way to start it than an Orioles win versus the New York Yankees. 2-0. Spring training opener. The game doesn't count. It doesn't matter, but I don't care. We're going to talk about it because baseball's back. I've been itching to talk about it. You've been itching to talk about it. Pete Alonso sent a ball to the stratosphere. Trevor Rogers looks like 2025 Trevor Rogers. Trey Gibson looks incredible. Every pitcher shoved. That's why you love Orioles baseball. That's why you tune in even in spring training. What a start to the baseball season. And listen, I'm going to talk about it. We're not going to dissect this game. We're going to talk about a few things. This isn't going to be long. We're going to talk about the Westberg injury, and then we'll get out of here. But I had to come on to talk about this. I mean, the Orioles are back playing ball. Pete Alonso's hitting home runs in the orange and black, and we're playing the damn song all summer long. So what's up, everyone? Welcome into this edition of Kevin and Zach React. I'm your host, Zach Bollinger. Kevin's not going to make it on this one. He already had to go and get – he's at dinner right now. He's at dinner. So, gosh. What a fun way to start a season. What a fun way to start the season. Orioles versus Yankees. Trevor Rogers on the mound. Let's bring up I'll bring up the stat. No, I'm not bringing up the stat sheet. Too many people played for me to bring up the stat sheet. I would, you know what? Screw it. We will attempt to bring up the stat sheet just because we got to figure this out. It's a mess. I know it's a mess, but we're gonna go through it still. It's a mess, but I don't know if I like how tiny that is. Don't know if I like that. Maybe this. Is this what we're looking at? Yeah, but not really liking. Can I move it over? Move my box over? Yeah, I guess. I guess this is what we're rolling with, but let's get it underway. We'll start with the hitting. 2 runs today, all came on Pete Alonso's 2-run homer. That's all the Orioles needed. And it didn't matter if they got that or not. If it was 0-0, they would have called the game a tie. It happens, but that's the beauty of spring training. But here we go. Gunnar Henderson and Pete Alonso, your 1-2 punch to start off the season. Now, to be honest, I'm assuming this is just simply, hey, we want to get Gunnar and Pete as many at-bats as quickly as they can early on in spring training. But I kind of don't hate it. Now, stick with me. I didn't consider Pete Alonso in the 2 spot, but I kind of don't hate it. I think, dare I say, I like it? Dare I say I like it? I think get your 2 top hitters, Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso, especially if Jordan Westburg is not there to start the season. Well, he won't be there to start the season. We'll get into that in a little bit. But with him out, is it the worst idea to have Gunnar Henderson and Pete Alonso, the first 2 batters up? I'm just saying, I don't think it's the worst idea ever, especially you get some run production in there. It lowers the amount, assuming that you were going to have Pete or Gunnar in the 3-hole. It limits the amount of times that they come out, 2 outs, no one on in the first inning. I kind of like it. We'll get into it. I kind of like it. We'll start off Gunnar 1 for 2. Nice line drive. Gunner's going to be Gunner. It's all about getting him ready. He'll be heading to the World Baseball Classic soon. Pete Alonso 1 for 3. Had 2 really solid hits. 1 incredible play by the center fielder for the Yankees. But Pete, solid swing in the gap, line drive. Probably brings in 1, maybe 2 runs if Pete gets that. But something I want to talk about. And actually, they talked about it on the broadcast. So Pete Alonso decides, hey, other guys are coming out. I want another crack. I want another at-bat. I want another try. I want to see as many. He talked about it later in the game. He said, I want to see as many pitchers as possible in spring training. So he comes out for a 3rd at-bat after solid contact on at-bat number 2 in the gap. Home run. I mean, ball demolished. Don't know what to say. Ball had a family. Keyword had, because that ball doesn't exist anymore. It is somewhere in the stratosphere, probably at this point over Georgia. That ball was demolished, and that's what Pete Alonso brings to this team. 1, he brings an unreal amount of power. But 2, it's that competitive. I want to be bigger on the screen when I say that. It's that competitive edge. It's that I want to see every pitcher I can. It's, hey, I'm 0 for 2 right now. I want to get a crack. He said in an interview later on in the game, I want to say it was the 6th inning, he was like, hey, I know I'm off tomorrow, so I want to go get mine right now. That's something that's infectious. That's infectious. That's something that takes over a team. We've heard all offseason, Pete Alonso's a leader. It's a vocal leader, and it's by example. And that's what he did. He went out there. Other guys are leaving the game. And I'm not blaming anyone for leaving the first spring training game after 2 at-bats. You did your time, whatever. But he was talking about, he's like, man, I'm trying to get ready for the season. So I got 3 more outs in the infield than I would have usually. And then now all of a sudden, I'm up to bat. I get that home run. I'm feeling good. I loved it. I love that mentality. I see people talking in the chat about pitching. Trust me, we are going to talk about the pitching because they shoved. But wanted to talk about the offense a little bit first. Let's go back, smaller screen, Zach. Creed Willems 0 for 0 with a walk. Basayo 0 for 2. Sam Huff. Are you kidding me? If they're going to carry 3 catchers, Sam Huff saying, hey, look at me, 2 doubles. Okay, Sam. Okay, Sam. Tyler O'Neill, 2 for 2. Nice little rope for him in his first at bat. And then he had a little dribbler down the line that just found a way. Tyler O'Neill looks good. And I'm not just saying at the plate today. I'm talking physically. Yes, he still looks jacked. He's still this massive human, but he looks thinner. He looks slimmer. He talked about he focused on, I believe, agility and stretching, stuff like that. Stuff that I think is going to keep him healthy long term. If Tyler O'Neill, listen, I know how we feel about Tyler O'Neill. Everyone, I'm going to bring this up bigger screen of me because I want to talk about it. We all know Tyler O'Neill, and I understand how we feel about him, had a very tough 2025 on the injured list more times than not. You're sitting there, you're going, this is all he is. He opts into the contract because of course he does. Why wouldn't you? You get offered 35 extra million, you're going to take that. If Tyler O'Neill is healthy, he has 35 plus home run potential. You add that into a lineup with Pete Alonso, with Gunnar Henderson. Cowser has power. Basayo has power. This Adley's got sneaky power. Beavers can do his thing. Obviously, Holiday for a second baseman. Yeah, Taylor Ward's got a lot of pop. He's a guy that just feels so forgotten about. He's a guy who drove in 103 RBIs last year. But if Tyler O'Neill can just stay healthy, play in, let's just say 120 games, 125 games, he can put up 25 to 30 homers, and that's going to really help this team. So Tyler O'Neill staying healthy is so crucial. I saw someone earlier as we go down the rest of the lineup. Yeah, Reed Trimble going by William now. I don't know if that's a mistype here or what's going on there, but yeah, Trimble 0 for 2, Cowser 0 for 2, Bradfield 0 for 1 with a walk. Let's keep it rolling. Rutschman, what is that? Was that? Yeah, he was 1 for 3. Kerstead 0 for 1, walk. Mayo 0 for 2. Jeremiah Jackson 1 for 2, had a very good at bat, takes the ball where it's pitched and goes the other way, ends up scoring on the Pete Alonso 2-run homer. Jeremiah Jackson is picking up exactly where he left off in 2025, and that is, if you send me up there, it might not be the hardest hit ball. It might not be a 3-run homer. It might not be a 450-foot silo shot. It's not going to be 110 off the bat to the gap, but I'm going to find a way on base, and I'm going to hit the ball where I need to and where it is pitched. Give him a pitch on the outside corner. He says, hey, thanks for that. I'll poke it the other way between the first baseman and second baseman, and now I'm standing on first base to get this inning started. That's why Jeremiah Jackson, when he got his opportunity in Baltimore, continued to get opportunities, because when you put the bat in his hand, when you gave him opportunities, all he did was get the job done. Spirit Bomb, I agree. Jeremiah Jackson, I talked about it actually on this podcast last night, O's Theory. Go check those guys out over there. Appreciate them having me on. Jeremiah Jackson, I'm going to classify as just a all-around ball player. I don't know where he's going to play. He's going to play second base. He's going to play third base. I'm sure he gets DH. I'm sure he gets outfield time. Jeremiah Jackson is a guy who has proven that at the major league level, when you give him a chance, he is going to grind through every at-bat, and he's going to find a way on base. And that is why you love this guy. He is a gamer. He's going to bring every glove he has to the field. He's going to show up. He's going to go, Albie, where am I playing? Albie's going to say, you're on the bench today. You're at second today. You're at third today. You're in the outfield today. You're DHing. You're first guy, pinch hitting, whatever it is. Jeremiah Jackson is going to go out there and give you a good at-bat. He's going to give you a quality performance, and that's why I love this kid. I don't think he's going to be starting much, obviously, early on with Jackson, Holiday, and Westberg both out. He's going to get more opportunities. But Jeremiah Jackson, he gives me those vibes of a guy that it doesn't matter when his number's called, he's going to be ready, and he's going to put up stats the entire time. Now let's go to the freaking pitchers, because holy crap. Let me move it over a little bit. I want Trey Gibson's name to be fully. There it is. The pitchers. It's spring training. The Yankees didn't have their A squad out there. Listen, you cannot overreact to spring training. You can't. You cannot look at spring training results and assume that that is what it's going to be. You can't look at spring training games and say, oh, because he dominated these guys, he's going to be dominant all year. You can't do that. But allow me to for a second. Trevor Rogers looked exactly like he did in 2025. Fastball was deceptive, getting swings and misses, guys off balance. It was soft contact. It was guys struggling to see movement. It was insane amounts of movement on pitches. Trevor Rogers looked exactly like Trevor Rogers did last year. And holy crap, is that a massive jump for the Orioles if it is. If he is. Because that's a guy who went out there. He felt good. 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. He just found a way to get soft contact. He got outs. It was quick. It was efficient. He was rolling. He knew it, and the Yankees couldn't do anything about it. Trevor Rogers, listen, once again, spring training stats are spring training stats. But the eye test showed you Trevor Rogers' stuff, the stuff, was as good as it was prior. I'm super hyped for him. Just continue to put together a good spring. I'm expecting a big season from Trevor Rogers. Keegan Aiken, 1 inning pitch, 1 walk to start actually his outing, then 2 strikeouts after that. Keegan Aiken's going to be a big wild card for this team out of the bullpen. He's kind of going to be a jack of all trades. He's that lefty that can go 2-3 innings if you need to. He can be a high leverage guy if you need him to be. Him being consistent this year is going to be so important for the Baltimore Orioles. I can't see straight. They need to find lefty relievers that are going to work for them. You have Dietrich Enns, you have Keegan Aiken, Grant Wolfram, obviously, as we'll get to in a second. These are guys that need to step up because they need that reliable lefty reliever if they want to match up late, if they want to get, have someone to come get lefties out when they need to. Keegan Aiken can be that guy. Deceptive fastball, nothing that's going to blow by you, but if it catches you off guard, it gets on you quickly. Happy to see him put together a solid outing. Rico Garcia, 1 walk, but besides that, 1 clean inning. Rico's a guy that came on last year and honestly kind of made a name for himself because he got out of a lot of crappy situations that other people put him in. Coming in bases loaded, no outs, he'll get out of it. Gone 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, he'll get out of it. Rico Garcia is kind of like I'm going to call all these guys pretty much wild cards because that's what this bullpen is. When they're pitching at their best, we saw last year, all of them look really damn good, but we saw moments where they all look very hittable. So Rico Garcia, loved the outing today. Grant Wolfram, 1 inning, 3 strikeouts. This guy, the Wolf of Utah Street. Saw someone on Twitter say that. Love that. Love that. Someone make that a shirt. Grant Wolfram, love what I saw from him. If you get a lefty that can get you strikeouts, especially in high leverage situations, that is so massive for this team. Jose Espada, 2 strikeouts in 1 inning pitched as well. Love seeing that from him. Just guys that hopefully, because bullpen, there's going to be injuries. There's going to be a lot of shuffling. You are probably going to see 20-ish guys pitch out of the Orioles bullpen this year. So a guy like Jose Espada, maybe he doesn't make the team out of camp, but he will be needed if guys go down, if guys are struggling, they start trying to do the thing where, okay, this guy comes up for 5 days and they send him down for 10 days. And this guy comes up because they use this guy too much. So they're sending him down. It's all part of the puzzle. You need these kind of guys. Now let's get to Trey Gibson. Let me take a sip of my lemonade before I get into this. I probably should have made orange Kool-Aid instead of lemonade because holy crap am I drinking the Kool-Aid. Trey Gibson had to leave Liberty, was kicked out. And at Liberty, for those of you who don't know, you can get kicked out for simply hanging out with a girl unsupervised. Like, there are so many ways to get kicked out of Liberty. Gets kicked out of Liberty, ends up going undrafted, but the talent was there. Wins Jim Palmer Pitcher of the Year for Orioles last year. Trey Gibson's got stuff. Now, listen, once again, this was the backups to the backups for the New York Yankees. But, man, did Trey Gibson look good. Trey Gibson looked so good. 3 innings pitched, only 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Spirit Bomb couldn't agree. It's spring training, but stuff is stuff. Yeah, I agree. Trey Gibson, I've seen some people. Is he going to make the team out of camp? No. I don't see any way he makes the team out of camp, and he shouldn't. He's got to go down to AAA and continue to work. But this is a guy, he reminds me of Kyle Bradish. He gives me just insane Kyle Bradish vibes, where next year, I think he gets a cup of coffee here a few times. He's going to play in the majors at some point this year. He's going to get a spot start. Maybe it's out of the bullpen towards the end. But Trey Gibson is a guy that next year, Zach Eflin's contract's up. Trevor Rogers' contract's up. Obviously, Chris Bassett's contract's up. They're going to need pitchers, and Trey Gibson is a guy that I think just has that stuff that is going to get him by, that is going to make him a really good pitcher in Major League Baseball at the Major League level, and you were seeing it here. Trey Gibson is that good. This is a guy that get to know him because Trey Gibson, he's coming. He is going to make it to the majors sooner rather than later. I don't think it's out of camp. I think you have to send him to AAA, let him continue to develop there. But this is a guy that I could not be more ecstatic for. And yeah, I truly believe it. I don't think it's going to be early on, but I think towards the end of the year, Dodgers used 15, 17 starting pitchers last year. You need depth. You need guys that can go out and take a start for you, that can go start 3 or 4 straight times while other guys are on the IL. Let Trey Gibson continue. And, yeah, this is why he was not great in his stint in AAA, and that's why you have to send him back there. Debut was good. Afterwards, numbers, but it's what's going to happen when you go to a next level. That's why you got to send him back to AAA, let him get comfortable there, and go from there. This is a guy that has just a crap ton of stuff that I could not be more excited about. But now, before we get out of here in probably about 10-ish minutes, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Jordan Westberg, partially torn UCL tendon, opts for the PRP shot instead of Tommy John surgery. I feel for Westy. I feel for the person. Had him on the show a few times. He, I just want him to be healthy. Like Jordan Westberg, since his rookie year, I've called him the producer. All he does is produce. I've been on that since the beginning. He is someone that I want to see dominate and just be healthy more than anything. It hasn't happened recently, but this one sucks a little more because talking to him, had him on the Ryan Ripken show a few weeks ago, you could tell he was itching to get back out there. It hurt him so much that last year he wasn't there the majority of the time while these guys were trying to scratch and claw back into a division, back into a wild card race. And he wasn't there because he wasn't healthy. You could tell he wanted to be out there this year more than anything. And it is going to eat him alive, not being able to. And genuinely, I don't know any inside information, but I bet that had something to do with them opting for the PRP shot. They went to 2 separate doctors. one of the Orioles physicians, and then a doctor out in LA both said, hey, it's a partially torn UCL. Guys can get the PRP shot, especially I see people comparing this to Kyle Bradish. Pitchers use their arms way more than infielders. Even if, let's say in 3 months, Jordan Westbrook has to get Tommy John, he's going to be back at the start of when next year would start. Whether we get a next year or not is going to be up in the air, but it should be back relatively soon next year. Even if he waits until the off season, he would be back playing third base by May, June. So I think the PRP shot was the way to go. Gives him an opportunity to maybe be back this year. It's a Band-Aid, the PRP shot. This is not going to fix anything. This is not going to be like, awesome, avoided surgery completely. He's probably going to have to get surgery eventually down the line in some capacity. This is to help his chances of playing in 2026. They say he's out through at least May. I don't expect to see Jordan. I'm going to be a pessimist here. Maybe I'll call it a realist. I am under the impression that Jordan Westbrook does not play this year because I refuse to get my hopes up. If he comes back, I think it adds an incredible level to this offense. I think he is the glue to this offense. I think he is a leader by example for this team. He is a reliable guy that when he's in the lineup, you know what you're going to get every single time he takes the field. It just sucks that he's not going to be out there for the full to start the year. It sucks that Jackson's not going to be out there to start the year because he's another guy that is itching to get out there. He wants to put his best foot forward and kind of show off that he is this former top number one prospect, this top guy that you can rely on. I feel for both of them. Jackson, I assume, will be back late June, April, early May at the latest. So not too concerned about him. I mean, he's already got his cast off. He's signing autographs with his right hand. It is what it is. It just sucks that going into this season where he felt like he was going to take that jump, that he's got to start off with something like this. But that's baseball. That's baseball. Saw someone earlier talk about the Albanese interview. Craig Albanese is probably the best personality this team could have gotten. He's so personable. He is such a clubhouse guy. Players, you can tell immediately. Every time he talks, you understand why when he came from Cleveland, every former player, every former reporter, every former person who's coached with him was like, this guy gets it. Everyone loves him. He is the most personable human you will ever meet. People gravitate towards him. This is a guy that I hope is running the Orioles for the next 10 to 15 years. Young manager, first opportunity, and you can tell already the way that he carries himself, the vibe he brings, the energy he brings. People were already talking, reporters at spring training. There's a different energy this year than other times. They asked him, hey, Day 2, and we're doing situational hitting. What's that about? And he said, I'm trying to change the mindset of these players. It's all about mindset. And I think Albanese is going to get the most out of these guys. I could not be more ecstatic for Craig Albanese to run this team. Could not be more ecstatic. I think this is setting up for an incredible year. I think this is going to be a fun year. And what a first day. Pete Alonso hits a homer. Gunnar gets a hit. Adley gets a hit. Trey Gibson looks incredible. Trevor Rogers pitches really well. This was a great way to kick off the season. And you know what? I'll say it because we've had many positives. Shout out to the Orioles for giving a little ode to the 2025 Orioles. They found a way to win, but still a quick 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. A quick salute respect to last year's Orioles' inability to hit with runners in scoring position. Bar Jeff, say it louder for the people in the back. The O's are fine. They're fine. And they're going to be fine. This is going to be a fun year. I'm not saying they're going to win the World Series. I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but I think this is going to be a really fun year. I think they have a lot of talent. I think they have a lot of young talent. I think they have now a lot of veteran talent as well. Everybody we've talked to says this Orioles team can be dangerous, and I agree. this is going to be a fun team. This is going to be a fun team, and this is going to be a fun year. So thanks for tuning in. We won't be live after every single Orioles spring training game. Probably not going to be live after most. Probably many at all. But I'll get to this in a second. It was just too fun not to. It was too fun not to. I miss baseball. I miss talking to you all. Miss reacting to Orioles games with you all. So I wanted to hop on. Been traveling all day, so sorry this is a little later than usual. Just got back and decided to hop on because I'm like, hey, we got to talk some Orioles baseball. And how could I forget? Shout out Ryan. Genuinely. He'll be back on the call tomorrow. Super happy for him. He's worked his ass off to get to this point. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see more of Ryan Ripken, especially through spring training. So I'm very, very happy. Yeah. Braves are scoring a lot of points this year. Braves are going to score a lot of points this year. I'll leave it at that. What the hell was that? Manzo, what did we do? I was like, what did they fuck me for? But, you know, what a fun start to the season. What a fun start to the season. But that's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. Wanted to come on here, just a quick 30-minute show, react to all this, talk about Pete Alonso, silo shot out of there at Ed Smith Stadium. Pitchers are shoving. Gunnar Adley get hits. Tyler O'Neill 2 hits. Jeremiah Jackson gets a hit. Boys were humming. It was a fun day at the yard. And just excited to go on this journey with you all. So that's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. Hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. And we'll be here next time. Not sure when. Kevin and I will talk about it. But we'll be here soon. And that 162-game marathon is right around the corner. So I'll see you next time for another edition, Kevin and Zach React. Pete Alonso, baby. So there's your Oriole. Pete Alonso. Welcome to the squad. See you next time.